Today's video, we're going to take a look at a really cool knife from the folks at Old Timer. It's the 2156 OT Caping Knife. Coming up on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So the folks at Schrade were kind enough to send me 2156 OT Old Timer Caping Knife so I could show it to you. I got to say right off the bat, I think it's got a really handy feel to it. It's just fits in your hand really well, and it's designed pretty much for caping and skinning and whatnot, and it's got some great features which I think really lend itself to that task. So without a bunch of further rambling, let's talk about the specs of this thing and we'll get to doing some of that nice stuff. All right, so once again, this is the Old Timer 2156 OT Copperhead full tang fixed blade caping knife. This knife features a 2 1/4 inch or 5.77 centimeter titanium coated drop point blade of 7CR17 MOV steel, a 4.18 inch or 10.62 centimeter ABS handle, an overall length of 6.83 inches or 17.35 centimeters. Features a finger choil and guard, a lanyard hole, and a black polyester belt sheath. The street price of this knife at the time of this video was just 15 bucks on Amazon. All right, well that's some of the specs and details about this 2156 OT from the folks at Schrade. And let me give you some of my initial impressions about this thing, and we'll get to doing some of that knife stuff and see how well it performs. But I like the, they call this ABS handle. It seems to be the same kind of material as the TPE, what they call TPE on some other knives. It's got the copperhead, motif kind of snakeskin styling on it, which gives it a little extra grip. I can say right off the bat, it's a very comfortable little knife. This is obviously a pretty close to task specific knife. It's designed for caping and skinning. It's got the finger choil here, which I am not really, I'm becoming a non-fan of choils, and most of the time I really don't see a need for them. In this case, it does give you a little extra chance to choke up, and I guess it gives you allows you to have a little bit longer total knife to give you a little more leverage. Maybe that's the only benefit I can see to a choil, because otherwise you can just have a cutting edge to here. But if you got to do a lot of tip work, but you still want the leverage of a longer knife rather, then maybe it gives you a little help, because you can definitely choke up pretty well to really do some detail work with this. So it's just, and right off the bat, I know people are going to say the sheath is crappy, and yeah, the sheath's crappy. It's a really cheap sheath. A little Velcro here, whatever. But in my opinion, this is not going to be a knife that you're going to carry on your belt. Usually this is something you stick in your pack and you use it when you need it. So it's not a big deal. Just basically it protects the blade. But that's how one way they're able to keep the price down. This thing's like 15 bucks on Amazon, which is a really good deal. So like I said, the primary function of this knife is for like skinning and caping an animal. Unfortunately, I don't really have an animal here to skin, so we'll just take it down to the old stump top and do some regular knife stuff with it. Okay, so I got a piece of good old poplar here. Not the best feather stick material in the world, but we'll see what we can do with it. This particular poplar isn't really, but that's what I got, so we'll go ahead and work on it. Let's turn it around. Let me get some of these. All right, here, let's try this now. I can get down to where there's some ridges on it, I might can carve some feathers out of it. Okay, try something else. Here I've got my favorite among favorites. This is the old fat wood. And it's just, ain't nothing like some fat wood feathers. Okay, by now I'm sure you know where this is headed. Let's just see what we got going on here. Oh yeah. So, yep, I love me some fat wood. Okay, so pretty decent job on feathers, excellent job on the fire. But again, this is not a bushcraft and or a camping knife or anything like that. what it is a caping knife, skinning knife. And one of the things I think is especially important for that kind of blade is to make sure that it's properly balanced. So we're here at the balance testing station at the high-tech Survival on Purpose outdoor testing facility. We're going to check it out. Well, I believe it successfully passed that stage of the engineering testing. That was the technical part of the testing process here at the Survival on Purpose Outdoor Laboratories. And I gotta say, whoa, almost dropped it. And I gotta say, I really like this little knife. I mean, first of all, it's 15 bucks. I like the handles here. I like just the way they feel. The controllability of this thing is great. I even don't mind the choil on this one. For those small detail tasks, whether it's caping and skinning or just detail carving or whatever, for 15 bucks, this might be a really great knife, and it is exceptionally well balanced. So once again, thanks to the folks at Schrade for sending me this so I can show it to you. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing, for clicking that thumbs up button like that, for sharing this video with all your friends, and thank you so much for doing all your Amazon shopping through the Survival on Purpose links. I really appreciate the support. Once again, my name is Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. See you next time. And gotta tell you, I think this is a really handy. Oh, you need a close up of that.